catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.
Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Let me move this over here. It is story time, everybody. It is story time. I am so excited. I'm so excited. I'm going to get this picture out your way so you can see me. But I am so excited. I wanted to come and welcome you today to story time. Today is April 9th. Please get ready to hit that subscribe button. It is story time with Shout Crystal. What I'm asking you to do right now is to take a minute and let some people know that you are here. Let them know you're here. All right. We're going to go over a few housekeeping rules first. A few housekeeping rules, if you don't mind. I want you to do me a favor. If you don't mind, I want you to take just a second. And I would like for you to go ahead and tell a friend that you're here. All right, just go ahead and tell a friend that you're here. And how do you do that, Crystal? Well, just share the live. Share the live and tell a few people that you're here. Okay, and it's real simple. All right, and you could do that throughout the night. You could do that throughout the night. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. Okay, and I have one more favor to ask. One more favor to ask. All right. And again, all these are free. They don't cost you a dime. All right. The other thing I like to ask you to do is be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. So I have a young lady with me tonight that is going to share some things that is really, really, really going to help some people. Okay. And her name is Nicole. And she's a young retired mom. But before we go into that, I just want to tell you a couple of things. I want to also remind you that we are here on Storytime on Wednesdays, and we are here on Sundays, okay? Wednesdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you have a story, doesn't matter whether it's good, bad, or ugly, come share your story here. We will get the story out, all right? That is what this is about. Storytime is about you sharing your story. And a lot of time people don't know how. And here we just have a conversation. So it's nothing to be nervous about. We're just going to have a conversation. Okay. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. So we want you to be sure to just come on and put something in the comment and say, I have a story. All right. It's just that simple. I want to tell you about this young lady I have. I met her on social media. Can I tell you guys that social media is real? All right, social media is real. You meet people every day, and it's real. So I want you to get ready and just prepare yourself for this, because this is going to be really, really good for somebody. It's going to help somebody. It's going to free somebody. Now, I think I might hear her knocking at the door. I think I hear her. So let me go see. I do believe she's in the room. Hey, Nicole, are you with me? Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Good evening. How you doing? That was so great.
I hear her. She is in the room.
That was great. That tickled me.
I said I hear you knocking. When I say I hear you knocking in the room.
Yeah, that was cute. Good evening.
How are you today?
Humbly grateful. That's always my answer. Humbly grateful.
Okay. There's no. That's a good way to be. That's a good way to be. We all need to be grateful.
Yeah.
Okay. We all need to be grateful. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked a little bit about how this is really going to be a blessing for some people. I really want people to understand that what's going on with you in your life is something that a lot of people don't get to experience. You
Amen.
said some words to me before, but before we get into that, I'm going to start at the beginning. First and foremost, do me a favor. Tell the people a little bit about who is Nicole? Who is this young retired mom? I'm going to fly up again so y'all can see it because I had it up before so you can really understand who we have here. Let me let you see what we have here. Let me go to here so you can see it. Okay. I'm going to give it to you right now. She is a young retired mom, and that's what the flyer said. It said young retired mom. So let me ask you something. The title of this is a young retired mom story. And
Mhm.
so many times we see people retire and then they go back to go to Walmart and we see them in there, right? And
Mhm.
I don't know why I hear that noise. I'm gonna mute you for 1 second. I want to see if that's me. I really want you to explain and say what you said to me a few minutes ago. You said something that was so profound when you talked about the free will. Because a lot of people, they leave their job, they leave their first career and they go to the second career. They go get a part-time job. They go to some. So that's what I want us to really, really dive into. But before we dive into it, I'm going to put the camera on you. I just want you to introduce yourself. Talk about who is the little girl Nicole. Okay, tell us a little bit about who is Nicole, the little girl.
Okay. Okay. So I am an 80s baby. I'm a woman of God. I'm a child of God. I grew up in the church, baptized more than once. Um, I come originally from the West Coast, Inglewood, California, to be exact. Um, I am my mother's only child, and I grew up in a middle class, upper class area in Inglewood, and went to private school all of my life. And I had great role models around me all of my life. You know, I was pretty structured, great foundation, and with that being said, my maternal grandmother, which would be my mother's mother, I remember as the only great grandchild, the only child, um, going to her celebration, her retirement celebration, and she had a beautiful venue, and it was purple and black. I remember it vividly. And she stood up at the podium and she spoke about herself, and she retired as a head nurse and a registered nurse at that, which means she was over all the nurses on her floor. But I remember vividly her saying, "I'm retiring at 50 years old." And all I heard as a kid, not understanding it at that time, was a lot of oohs and ahs. And I was like, what's the big deal? And as I grew up, I understood that that was young. That was a very young age. And my grandmother was married.
Wow. Okay.
And they had their house built from the ground up. To this day, my family are the only people who have lived in that house. Beautiful house on the corner in Carson, California. So as I grew up, I planned my retirement, and I wanted to have my own oohs and ahs like my grandmother did. But I beat her, not that it was a competition, but almost by 10 years.
I see the T-shirt says retired 2025. Now back up a little bit. Back up a little bit so your head is not cut off. Back up
Okay.
just a little bit,
Okay.
or bend your screen. Yeah,
That better?
there you go. Yes, 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 yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you wanted to have your own oohs and ahs. So you paid attention. You listened.
Mm-hmm.
You saw her retire, and a lot of times we see that.
Right.
And you were how old?
I want to say I was 10, 11 years old.
Okay. So before you went to this, what type of little girl was you? Was you outgoing? Was you quiet? Was you the quiet little girl that dreamed about being retired early, that dreamed about being an entrepreneur? Because we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about whether or not you're an entrepreneur and exactly what you do, because I know you get asked that question all the time.
Right, right.
What did you do as a little girl besides
As a little
college?
girl, my parents had me very active. I have no complaints. I modeled for 15 years. I acted. I did runway. I competed. I won very often. I cheered. I was pep squad co-captain. I was captain cheerleading drill team. Sorry. I was in the choir. I was head of the debate club in high school. I was very active. Like I was peer commissioner in high school. I was a very active person, but at the same time, believe it or not, like now I'm shy. Like this, I had to pray about this.
Shy? Wait a minute. I ain't seen a
I've
snap
never.
on your body on Instagram. Shy?
Well, I explained that because I get that reaction a lot too. Instagram is not talking to people. It's posting a picture and getting off. And a lot of people assume because you post a picture or you post a video that automatically makes you not shy. That's not the same for me. And I've spoken to other people who share that sentiment with me. Speaking in front of a crowd is a totally different ball game.
So fast forward. Siblings? Did you have
I
siblings?
am biologically my mother's only child. I am my father's only child. And then I have one child. So we all kind of repeated each other on my mom's side.
So don't be offended by this, but I'm going to ask this question because a lot of only children are spoiled rotten. Were you spoiled rotten?
I was spoiled, but I was raised to be unselfish. And to this day, I'm very unselfish. I'm constantly reminded of how unselfish I am. And people are usually surprised when they find out I'm an only child. I'm sharing now.
Right. Okay. So when did you branch out? Did you go away to college? Did you go to the military? Tell us a little bit about your journey from childhood to adulthood.
So I graduated top of my class, 4.2 GPA. Applied for all these colleges. The same grandmother that I told you about who retired as a registered nurse. A lot of my family is in the medical field, and I wanted to be an anesthesiologist originally. I went to Xavier University, which at the time was nationwide #1 for Black doctors to come out of there. Some things happened to me physically and mentally that it was bad timing for me. I started college on crutches, no elevator. There were things that I had to go through personally that I was like, I couldn't even focus like I should have. And I came back home, I went back home to visit for a high school homecoming game. And I'll never forget it. My memory is like an elephant, people tell me. I remember being at the football game and someone said, what are you doing with yourself? And I'm like, I'm in college to be a doctor. And remember I said I was head of my debate club team. I started it literally at my high school, right? I'm the person who started it. And the person said, I would have thought you would have been like an attorney or something. And I was like,
yeah, I would have thought that too. Yes, I would have thought that too.
So long story short, fast forward, I changed my major from pre-med to law, and I became a darn officer, a sworn officer, and went into law enforcement.
So with that being said, I'm going to let the people see a little bit about the visuals of what you just described, because we have a little slideshow so you can kind of visually follow. I want to say hello to you people. Let us know you're there. I see you about that wallet. He says, good evening, Crystal and Nicole. Hi. He also said no lies about speaking in person versus to a camera.
Thank you.
Because I guess you're trying to tell me you shy too. Is that what you're trying to say, Anthony? My goodness. People probably wouldn't believe I'm not really that outspoken either, but I guess it's true. But it grows on you after a while.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at this slideshow for a minute, and then we're going to get back into really dig into this and find out. So you became an officer. I would have never thought you'd been an officer. Wow, that's amazing. But let's check it out. Let's let the people see the slideshow, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Check this out, y'all. question for you. And about that wallet made a comment. He said, I could speak to you in person, but to have so many eyeballs on you on the stage is a bit scary.
Thank you.
You know what they say?
I
You
concur.
gotta find something to focus on. When you get in the
Yeah.
big room, you have to look. Because I know when I do it, when I speak, I don't think about it. And I've been in auditoriums and in big churches and stuff. And
Mhm.
I just, you know, they used to say, look at one person, find that one focal point and look at that one person, or either look at people and think somebody's naked. They used to say something
Absolutely.
crazy, think something
Absolutely.
crazy, and that'll get you through it. But you
Absolutely.
definitely have to not focus on the room itself because it might make you freeze up and you'll forget what you're about to do.
Absolutely.
Or about
You
to
would have
say.
thought with all my experiences, I don't get nervous, but I still conquer it. I'm not spelling bees. I had to look at the wall, all the fashion shows because of all the flashes and the cameras, same concept. But it doesn't take away the nervousness.
So you had a head full of hair. Now there was one picture when I guess you were in the police academy and you were down there. Did your hair come out?
No, I had to put it all in a bun, all this
You had to
thick
put it
hair.
up in a bun, so you had a bun in the back.
All
So,
that thick, I've had hair all my life, and yes, I had to pull all that back into that bun.
so let me ask you something. So why a police officer?
Because I felt like I had both. I was blessed with both gifts. I really do. To this day, I still only watch medicine and law shows. To this day, it's always been my interest. So I was not uncomfortable with neither. And like I told you, someone in my ear, I thought you would be an attorney. Well, I chose law enforcement because it was faster paced, less schooling. To then, after starting law enforcement, to be asked by judges that I ended up working with, why don't you go be an attorney? So all my life, I was still asked to be an attorney, even in the career itself. But why did I do it? My only honest answer is it wasn't expected, and I always challenge myself. Even in retiring early, I challenge myself. My daughter calls me very weird, but I challenge myself with different things. I'm one of those people who I just read the dictionary just because, or I write a poem just because, or that's just me. I just challenge myself with things that are not expected. I knew that I was not going to be expected as a Black woman. Not trying to be funny. I was told throughout my career quite a few times, you're too feminine to be an officer.
There are a lot of feminine officers. So was you, what type of duty did you have? Were you sitting at the desk or were you out on the beat?
No, I have jumped brick walls. I have done foot pursuits. I have worked in the jails. I have worked in the courts.
Wow.
I have done my
I would
fair
have never picked that for you. How you doing, Michelle Butler? I see you there. Thank you so much for coming through. You said
I
late. I
can't see
apologize. So
anybody but
that's good.
hi.
I see too tall to be
Hi.
a shorty. Your
I
cousin
can't.
said that. She
Hi.
says hello to everyone. So thank y'all for coming and share the live and let people know you're here. So wow. So you were jumping walls and man, have you ever had to shoot anybody?
You know what? I've never had to shoot. I've never been hit, assaulted. To be honest with you, I've had more problems with people fighting over me, the officer.
Wow.
True stories.
So and we're going to get off of this in a minute, but it's interesting because I just never pictured you being an officer. The way society is today, how long ago did you retire from being in the force?
My last day of work was October 4th, 2024.
Okay. You just retired last year from there.
And then but I officially retired less than 2 weeks ago, March 29th, 2025.
Okay. Well, we got to say congratulations. That is amazing. And it is a blessing. Anytime you can retire from any company,
Right.
anytime you can, get yourself established, to feel a burden lifted, to be in a place where you don't have to go to work, where you don't have to let somebody dictate to you, where you don't have an obligation, where you don't have a schedule, where you don't have to wake up, where you have free will and you could do what you want to do, go where you want to go, be where you want to be. That's a beautiful thing. So how are you enjoying that?
It's mind blowing. It's surreal. I'm still trying to take it in because even though I stopped working in October, I still was not able to sit. I was still busy a lot. I was traveling. I was still doing things. I relocated, so I'm still busy. I felt like I was just on a long vacation rather than retired. But as of March 29th, when I got that email that you're officially retired, we're transferring you over to the retirement company. The HR will get a letter from the board of your human resources. That's when I did a big sigh, like I'm done.
Right. So that's when you've done whatever payout they're gonna give you for vacation time and all the
And I
leave.
haven't even received that.
Right. So whatever, all that takes place, and then you can
Right.
sit there and say, "Wow." So you made a decision that you're not gonna go back to work again.
I don't ever. I don't know if when you're ready to get into the plan of it all, but no, I don't want to work.
So where did that thought process come from? Because that's a bold statement to say, I'm never going to be going back to work. So you feel comfortable and you're complacent with the amount of savings and everything that you've accumulated at this point in your life. So how old are you? 40 something?
Mm-hmm.
40, what? You're not 50 yet.
Mm-mm.
So you're in your 40s. So you feel comfortable where you are right now that you don't have to pick up another job. Now, people do find other ways to sustain what they have, be it stocks, investments, and doing things, real estate. I mean, people find ways. So what is your thought process about that whole thing?
I've crossed all my T's, dotted all my I's without having debt. I haven't had a credit card since 2011. I have not touched any of my tax shelters, annuities, stocks, bonds, none of that. And
Wow.
I'm perfectly fine. And that goes into explaining how I did it, why I did it, and how I planned it.
So hold on. I don't know if y'all caught what she just said. Now I'm a person, I'm 65. Now I know about what she just said. I understood exactly what she just said. She said she didn't touch her retirement, her annuities. She's not going to get a job. So that means she had to be very, 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 very disciplined throughout her career. And she had to be very intentional. Yeah. So yes, we definitely need to go get a pen and paper. And you need to write this down, not even if it's just for you, but maybe for your mother and your father, maybe for your auntie and your uncle, maybe for your sister and your brother, because that's good stuff. Yeah. No, what? And
I did it legally. No one could come back and audit me and take anything away from me.
So let me ask you this now, because I gotta ask, because sometimes people are fortunate because they get an inheritance.
Nope. All my parents are alive. My great grandmother passed before I was 13. No. Let me make all that very clear. Nothing is. It's all my money, all my signatures, no co-signers, no mortgagees, no nothing. It is only me.
Single the whole time?
Single. So you can do this married, widowed, single, kids, not kids.
Okay,
from the West Coast to East Coast.
Okay, so now you have me thinking, okay, because I know that there are many, many ways to make passive income, right? Mm-hmm. I know that people go to the job and they get their linear income, which means they punch a clock, they do 40 hours, they get paid. They take a vacation day, they get paid, or they don't have no sick leave, they don't get paid, but it's all based on the linear income, right? A lot of people don't have what we call passive or residual income. Right. So let me ask you this. Is this lifestyle you have because of some form of passive or residual income?
From working one job, one career, and let me throw in, I had not worked overtime past 8 hours since 2012 to when I retired 2024. So for 12 years, I only worked 8 hours, one job.
So y'all need to be hiring her and booking her to do workshops, to teach people, because apparently now the next thing it leads me to believe is you must be a hell of a budgeter. You must
No,
know how to,
I'm ready to tell my story when you want me to. But let me say this, Miss Crystal, and to those who are listening, and to those who will share this, and to those that don't believe or disbelieve. I understand seeing is believing. I'm a woman of God, okay? And in the world we live in, you have to see it to believe it. You just can't go by hearsay. It's too many scams and frauds out here. But I planned this. I need people to hear that and believe that. I planned this. This was not, thank you. This was not something that I just said. I told you, my grandmother in my ear. And by the way, I never told anybody my plan. Not my parents, not my child, not anyone. And I never made one mistake. I didn't even make half of one mistake in this plan, y'all. And I'm not saying that mistakes are a problem, because you learn from your mistakes. The experience as a teacher. But I was so strategic with crossing my T's and dotting my I's. I didn't make one mistake.
So the good thing about this is that when I put the camera on you, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna have my notes. I don't know about y'all. But I'm gonna
I taught it on Instagram.
I'm gonna share this with my young girls, because I mean, I'm over there.
I taught it on Instagram twice. I taught how to retire young on Instagram Live twice for free. My story is consistent because it's the truth.
Wow. So here we go. I would love for you. I asked those questions intentionally because I wanted to get those thoughts out of people's minds. So we weeded out all of those options, all of those directions, all of those ways that you could have it could have fallen into your lap, so to speak. So now I sincerely would love for you to take us through how you did it. Like, start from the beginning. I'm gonna stop you here and there. We'll put it in pieces, but I gotta hear this. I want to hear this. Okay. So yes, tell us, first of all, the mindset shift. I had to start with a mindset shift. You said you were very intentional. So I want to know, at what age did you make the decision? Did you make the decision when you got the job? So I'm gonna let you go through, and then I'm gonna have my questions when you come. But yeah,
all the answers. All right. So I'm not the only person that I've heard of that has retired young, but I find most of us, as far as similarities, does it by real estate. And the great thing about that is you don't have to have a lot of money. People just, let me go back a little bit. Going into anything in life that you want, you can't be fearful. You can't be uncomfortable. You can't let the doubters get in your head. You either want it or you don't. I'm one of those people. If I want it, I'm going to get it. And I did it and I got it. Long story short, and then if I don't answer anything, then Miss Crystal, of course, asks, or the comments that I can't see asks. So when I was in my 20s, I got pregnant on birth control. I have this strange percentage that I got. So I was forced at a time that I didn't plan. I didn't plan pregnancy. I did not want kids originally at all. And when I found out I was pregnant and she's here, I was like, damn, this just changed the whole trajectory of my life, right? So remember I told you the story, my grandmother retired at 50, which was young. I eventually understood and found out. So, growing up, when you start a career, you always, when you fill out those HR paperwork, you're expected to retire around 60, 65. Choose your benefit plans, etc. Right? If you have those kind of careers. Well, I kept seeing this 62 Social Security, this age of 65 retiring, and I'm like, I know that the devil is a lie. I did not, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want. But I'm gonna ask everybody here: have you ever heard of a person who likes to work, Miss Crystal? I can't see.
Now there may be a few people who sometimes you have people who enjoy what they do.
Enjoy what they do is not the same thing as liking to work.
If they had a choice, many of them would say if they didn't have to be there, they wouldn't.
I have never in my entire life heard of anyone, deceased or living, that likes to work. I have heard people say they like to stay busy, They enjoy the kind of job that they have. They enjoy their salary. They enjoy and appreciate their job, or they even like their coworkers. But I have never in my entire life of existence heard anyone say, I like to work. Well, I was one of those people. I don't want to work. I have to work like most of us, but I don't want to work until I'm 60, 65. And with Orange Man in office, you might be working longer and you're literally going to die at work, on your way to work, or leaving work.
Or stressed out. Back up a little bit so we can make sure we're going to cut your head off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Stressed out. Yes.
So before I bought my house in my 20s, I said, how am I going to make this work for me? Because I know that my age wasn't going to retire me, because that's not how the government sets us up. That's not how Social Security, that's not how the retirement programs program us, right?
Right.
So I said, let me go buy a house I can afford. I won't struggle. It's generational wealth to pass down, and make it work for me. I'm one of those people, like, I'm rebellious, but legally rebellious, or in a way that's gonna make sense and make me happy. I bought a house.
Generational wealth in your 20s.
Absolutely. I'm the only child. I only have one child. I got my mother's side is strict. You better be on your A game.
Right.
And if you don't make the right decisions on that side of my family, they looking at you, and you're not going to receive. They're not going to enable. That we're going to teach you. We're going to guide you. We're going to give you morals. We're going to put you in church. We're going to put you in the best of the schools. You better make something out of it. So yes, I was thinking about generational wealth in my 20s.
Wow. Good evening, FRR. Thank you for stopping by. Share the live. So what happened next?
I bought my house in my 20s. But with my best friend, I don't know if she's in here. She's in real estate. God watches out for his children that are good and listen to him, or, good to yourself and others. And if I always say, if you do right by God, you do right by others, you'll be blessed. You have nothing to worry about. It's very simple. God put this woman into my life. She worked at real estate. Aunt Shonda is her name. And I told her I wanted the biggest house that I could afford.
Okay.
I ended up getting a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 3-balcony house in the West Coast, South Bay, California area, right? I'll just say this. The family who moved in 3 months after me paid $100,000 more than I did.
Wow. So did she position you to be able to go there and get it for the taxes when it was in foreclosure?
You see how intelligent you are, Ms. Crystal? So basically, you could I only told her, or the office where she worked, I wanted something that I can afford. I don't want a 30-year fix, or 20-year fix, where real estate, you're told you pay in the front or you pay in the back.
Yes.
Right. And what that means is, for anyone who does not understand, that is, if you buy a house for $400, $500, well, back then, $1,000, you're stuck in that mortgage. This
right.
is, you can't, you can refinance, but at the end of the day, now you're just going to put that price on the back end. So you're still stuck in it. So when I told her, I don't want anything that I have to fix up too much, and I don't want anything that's going to make me struggle, but I want as big as I can afford. We put our minds together. I actually, at work, found a house on a website that I found, and I said, this is too good to be true. Long story behold, I got that job, and I closed escrow on my birthday.
Okay. So you know what? Now, if I can stop you right there, I have to say, you were fortunate, because like where I live, it ain't happening. We can go down there, we can see the houses, we can see the list. They're gonna outbid folks. You were fortunate, whatever county, whatever state you were in, you were blessed, because in some places it's not that easy. I'm very familiar with it, because a lot of people I know do it. I've tried it, and a couple of times it was great, but it was slipped from right up under us. So that's a blessing. when you find a city or a state that has it like that, you need to eat it up.
There are websites strictly only for that. And I familiarize myself, not my agents, not my best friend. No one helped me with this. I'm one of those people, by the way, I do my own research. I have a trust issue thing where I don't want you to tell me. I want to hear you and then go research it myself because I like to understand everything. I don't want you to tell me about me. I want to understand everything that I'm doing. And I'm, like I said, I read the dictionary just because I want to understand the lingo. I want to understand the wording. I'm not going to just sign because you asked me to. I want to understand every single thing that I'm doing. And when I bought the house, August 2011, I closed escrow on my birthday. And I was like, okay, see, God, you playing in a good way.
Wow.
I went to Miami to celebrate my birthday. I came back, I moved in. Remind you, I said I planned this. So before I bought the house, my plan is going into effect, y'all. Like everything that I'm doing is strategic. And as I'm paying this mortgage and my daughter is growing and I'm growing in my career and I'm getting older and we're getting older and she's graduating and she's graduating, I'm saying to myself, okay, it's getting closer. I need to retire because I only got one child and I'm not going to be working after she graduates from college. And I wanted to be that mother when she was done. I was done before her or at the same time.
You go. That's what I'm talking.
She has not graduated college yet, and I have retired before her.
Wow. So I know a lot of people would do things like make double payments on the principal. You have to be careful when you make those payments because if you don't make them right, then it'll go toward the interest. So sound to me like you did do a lot of research. Sound to me like you definitely mastered the plan. And you know, wisdom is a principal thing. That's in the word. You know what I'm saying? And so and it also in the word says in Habakkuk 2, our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So you was a person who studied to show thyself approved, and you made sure that you got the information that you needed to reach your goals. So kudos to you, man, for being so focused, laser focused, and intentional. That is
Thank you.
Very, very admirable, respectable, and definitely duplicatable. If you teach it to folks, some people could do it. So are you teaching this to others?
Yes, that's my. You asked me what I'm doing in my retirement life. This is the only thing that I want to do right now is share. You don't have to be programmed. You don't have to be stressed to work until you're a certain age because the government says, because your HR says, because I teach how to work with your credit. I just told you I haven't had a credit card since 2011. People always ask me, well, how did you get cars and how did you get houses?
Woo!
Clearly I did. That's a program that puts fear into people that you have to have these 3 major credit cards. No, ma'am, I don't like debt. That's my debt. No one's going to pay that debt for me. That's my debt. I remember when I went to the truck dealer and I was buying my first truck. I always had pretty nice cars, but I wanted this particular luxury truck, Miss Crystal and audience. And I remember the guy at the dealer kept saying, "You gonna work me down all the way down to these numbers, aren't you?" And I said, "No offense, this is your commission, but this is my note."
Okay.
And I drove off with that truck. And I sat there by myself because I'm one of those people. I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to be professional, but I'm going to be assertive because I know what you're getting out of it, but I know what I need out of it and what I want out of it.
So, yeah, Michelle, I wish my daughter was here too. But I'm gonna make sure they get the replay. It's okay. They're gonna get the replay. We can send them the link and tell them to watch. That's the beauty of recording. That's why I always tell people I have over 200, almost 300 interviews. You really need to go back and check some because I'm gonna tell you there's stories like this that will change your life. And that's why I have story time, and that's why we do what we do, because if we all listen to one another, we don't have to make mistakes. You heard her say she didn't make none. But there are some people who make mistakes and then they've learned from them, and then we don't have to make the same mistake. But here, she didn't make any, but she's willing to share. You have some people that are gatekeepers and they're not sharing.
Where's
but
the
she's
blessing in that?
caring.
What's the blessing in that? What's the point of going to your grave with tight lips?
Right.
And that's another thing that you asked me about being the only child. I've always been like that. What's the point of that? What am I getting out of not sharing? Why not?
That's right. And that's probably why you're blessed, because you've never been selfish.
No.
You've been selfless. So
Amen.
that, and God rewards a cheerful giver. And giving is not always the tither, but sometimes just giving can be caring. It could be being considerate. It could be being kind. So you can give in a lot of different ways. You understand what I'm saying? So, but the thing that I got to go back to that also, I don't know if y'all caught that. If you're just coming in, you're listening to Nicole. She retired in her early 40s. She didn't get an inheritance. She's not doing anything now that investing or doing none of that stuff. She doesn't have another business. She doesn't have to work again in life. She owns her home. Let me just ask, it's paid for? Paid for. Okay. Her home is paid for, bought it in her 20s. Okay. She retired. She has not touched her 401k, her annuities, none of that stuff. Okay. All her stuff is laid up. When they say the stuff is laid up for the just, good God Almighty, girl, she got it stocked up in the event that she does have any issues with her health or anything, and she has to. She's got something to lean back on.
I still have my medical benefits from retirement.
Okay.
I crossed all my T's and dotted all my I's.
All of them. All of them. And I'm gonna tell you something. And this is a transparent moment for me, because I'm almost 66. Mm-hmm. So but I don't have regrets, because here's the funny thing. I have had the $100,000 checks. I have had 2 inheritances. Yeah. I have had the houses. I right now would have had 4 checks. I retired 3 times. But I've been married twice. So, and I've seen a lot of people leave this earth and pass away. So as I was seeing that, I was making decisions and saying, okay, do I want to keep my lifestyle? Because if I'm going from a 2 income to a 1 income, and I want to keep my lifestyle, then I got to make some decisions. I might have to move some things around. So I started dipping. But like you said, you didn't touch them, but I was dipping. Right. But I felt good about it as I teach and talk to my young ladies now. I showed them, I said, this is what I would have had. But I said, but you know what? This is what I bought for me. So the beauty in that is I didn't have to go to nobody else. I didn't have to go to a bank. I didn't have to go nowhere else. I got it for myself. So I don't feel bad about that, because now they're doing their thing, because they've seen me own the home. They've seen me own the car. They've seen me. So now they've seen enough that they can do that. And I'm comfortable. Because I'm okay, because I did what I needed to do. But if I could go back and do it again, I probably would do it different. But everybody's life is not going to go like yours did. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a different path. But if you have the opportunity now and you're watching Nicole and you don't have no excuse, then you need to follow what she's trying to put down.
Let me say this. If you have bad credit, if you have debt, you can still do this, because I help with that too. Nothing in your life stops you from this. Only you do. Only you do.
So
I tell people, my celebrity friends with doing this, y'all. and Lord knows they make more money than I probably ever have. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I always say this: the only reason people do not accomplish their goals is out of fear, laziness, and or comfortability. And they're scared to change the programming that has been passed down for decades. That's the only thing that's stopping people. And this is why I'm on this rampage to do this in my retirement, because I want people to know you have options. And that's what I've always trained myself, is to have options, have backup plans. You don't have to be stuck in this programming of your alarm going off, you driving to work, you working these 8, 12-hour shifts, you going home, you spending time with the family or not, cooking or not, fixing your lunch or not, going to bed at a certain time to do it all over again. You don't have to do it until you're 60, 65.
So you see what Michelle Butler says. She says she ain't a trust fund baby.
And I am not yet, if I am going to be one.
And your cousin said, hey, cousin Misty is in the building. and too tall to be a shorty said it gets even better. It gets even better. So let me ask you this. At this point, if you come across someone and they, like you said, have the bad credit, or they're working overtime and never seeing their family and stuff, what is the process? How do you go about helping people? Do you have workshops? Do you have classes? I mean, do you take clients? How do you help people?
People have DM'd me to look at their credit reports. They trusted me and just gave me all 3 credit reports. And I swear to you, I helped them in less than 30 minutes. I have accepted all of my DMs in my Instagram. Some people got back to me, some people didn't. And that's another thing is you can't want it but not start it. It's like anything. This is how I look at it. The same way that you apply for a car, a job, an apartment application, or a mortgage is the same effort that you have to do for this process. There's no different. I don't understand why some people want it but don't want it bad enough.
Yeah. How bad do you want it? That's true.
I
So
can't do it for you.
no, you can't. So are you taking applications? Are you charging a fee? I mean, how does this process work?
I haven't charged a dime. I won't charge a dime. I don't take applications. I only take questions.
What?
For what?
Wow. Okay, wait. All
I
right,
did not.
now,
I just told you. I
wait,
did 2
wait,
Instagram lives for
wait,
free.
wait. I don't know if y'all caught that, but if y'all ain't hit the button just now yet, and if y'all haven't shared this out to whoever, you need to get your children in here. You need to tell whoever. She just said she's not even charging.
What about charging you for?
Right now, I said share it with 5. Everybody has shared with 5. Share it with 5.
Yeah.
Get them in here. Get them in here. All right, like, share, comment, subscribe now.
Is my Instagram page posted somewhere? If you don't believe,
I'm gonna show your page right now.
No. And the reason I say that, if you don't, I even have posted my proof. It's on my page. You don't have to go on my highlights. You don't have to go on my story. It's on my page that I paid off the house. It says the date. It says the confirmation number. I showed my retirement date. Now that part is in my highlight in circles on my Instagram. Everything you need is in. Is
all right.
on
So
my
what
page,
I'm gonna do is,
and it's not a private page. Just go look.
No, it's not a private page. Looking here. Okay, so give me a second. I'm gonna go to your Instagram.
There's pictures of the house.
Yeah, hold on one moment. We're gonna go there. Give me a second. We're gonna go there. Give me a sec. Can you see your Instagram page? If you can't see it yet, let me go to another screen. Hold on. Let me do this. Wow. Let me do this right here. And let me do this right here. All right. I need to do something. Bear with me because we're gonna show this. They need to see this for sure. I need to make sure that I need to move something down. I'm gonna bring you back up for a quick second while I'm working on this. Okay. I need to do this. Wow, that's just amazing to me. That so I have this right here like this. I have not done it with Instagram. I usually do it with YouTube, and I need to take for free, y'all, for free. So if you're listening to Nicole, a young retired, share screen. Let me see.
Only thing I want people to do for me is to start the process. And once you start and you finish, just pass the word and bring them back to me so we can all flourish and we can all celebrate.
Okay.
I just want more people to celebrate with me. To be honest with you.
See, Instagram be tripping. That's why Instagram be tripping. Instagram. That's why I said if you had it on your YouTube, I could do Instagram. Be tripping.
No, it's on there's a few on my TikTok, but my Instagram has everything.
TikTok, I don't know if TikTok is like that, but
my Instagram has everything.
Not user friendly with this process of StreamYard. It's not. But so what you have on your page is a video of you walking through your home and doing everything.
You can
I'm
see the
trying
post
to.
last
I can't.
November.
Can you send me the video? Do you have the video on your phone that you uploaded on?
Yeah, I can do that.
Send it to me right quick. Because if you
Right
send
now?
it to me, I can show it here. Can you? You're on your phone, so you probably can't do it unless you have two devices. So you probably can't do it.
Or, well,
Yeah.
either you want me to either I can go out and send it to you, or you can just share it, tell people my Instagram page, and they go.
Yeah.
Look for
Well,
it.
they're gonna get your Instagram page.
Okay.
Definitely.
So what do you want me to do?
So they. I don't want you to leave out.
Okay.
So they'll definitely. We will submit it. So basically, tell us about what the video is that you want everybody to see. I mean, I have it here on my phone, but I wanted to show it to y'all. Let me see something. I wanted to show y'all this because that yeah. I know you had it pinned on your page. And let me take this out of my ear here. And
I had a sister.
show y'all this.
I had a play sister get mad at me. You're not gonna charge at least $5-10. I had someone less than 2 weeks ago. You know, I was raised to work, and I said, well, I was raised to work. I did it, and I'm done. So you're gonna have there it is. That's the picture of the house. That was posted in October or November. And then there's a video in November on Thanksgiving Day that I posted last November, of me paying off the house.
That's you walking through.
That's
you walking through the house.
That's the house I'm sitting in as we speak. That's the backyard, and my dog is out there right now looking at me like, "What are you doing?"
A beautiful little dog. That's a beautiful. You got a big backyard. Is that a pool in the backyard?
Yeah, it's a saltwater pool. And that is the
Wow. Wow. So was you always a person that was determined? Always. So there are a lot of people who might come across this video and they don't have that belief in themselves. You know, they don't have that belief in themselves. And what would you tell that person? If somebody comes across here and they say, you know, I want to do it. Yes, you would tell them, follow her. Her name on IG, I'm going to put it in here, is Young and Retired. Young and Retired. Okay, Young _retired. We're going to put it up here so y'all can definitely see it. It's YUNG _RETIRED, another underscore PAID. Pay, what is it? Paid state?
Because I paid the house off.
Page state, and then underscore. What's after page state?
It's stink.
It's page state. No, it's page state. I'm looking at it. Paid estate. Oh, estate.
Paid estate.
That's paid estate. Okay, and then what's the S? What's that after that? Estate.
STINK.
Okay, underscore then stink. Got it. So let's make sure I got that right. Is that an underscore? STINK. So I have Young _retired _PAIDESTATE
Young is spelled without the O.
I got it without the O. IG. Yeah, I got that. I knew that much. I follow you, so I knew that much. I have that. So, all right, guys, I'm about to put this up here for you. So y'all need to jot it down, screenshot it, do whatever you need to do, and go follow her on this page if you have a desire. Now, here's the thing. Don't have no regrets. Don't feel like, oh man, I messed up. I missed it, because it's never too late. But do you turn anybody down and say, listen, you're too old. I'm not helping you now.
I have no reason to. And for you were about to ask if anyone has like self-doubt or doesn't believe in themselves. I stated that, and I was in the middle of saying that coincidentally, is your doubt is your fear. And your fear takes you away from your opportunities and your blessings. The same thing I tell my only child. You either want it or you don't. And the same way that you applied for that job and you went to that job interview and you had that confidence, or maybe you didn't even have that confidence, but you had that hope because you wanted that for yourself. The same way that you go into your children's parent conferences with confidence or hope is the same way you apply for this. The only thing that this is different is retiring earlier. You're gonna retire anyway, right?
That's right.
That's
Somebody
the
put
only
this up.
difference. All I did was cut the time in half, literally.
Now, what's this right here? She got metal _ yellow first mid red mid. What's all this? What's all this?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, that's what your people. So I figured it was.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, you don't know who that is? She said proud and love you favorite.
Oh, thank you, Fenton. I know who that is.
Okay. So since you don't know who that is, I'm gonna just go back and put this back. So, what are their steps? If you had to give people like 10 steps to take to do this, do you have like a map, a roadmap?
Easy. Same thing that I've said on Instagram Live. Very easy steps. The same thing that I did for myself in this process is strategizing your credit, your debt, and your goals. For you, yourself, your family, all those goals, right? Write them down, map them out. And then at least 2 to 3 times a week, you check off getting those goals met. That's all I did. And guess what? The way that I did it, I did not allow myself to do anything on my days off. I did not allow myself to do anything on holidays because I had to get my rest in. I had to give myself that mental capacity to take in my process. So all I did was jot things down like I do here. This is an example. I still do it. And I cross off at least 2 to 3 things per week on my agenda or my goals. That's it. That's it.
You have it. I put it up there. First, check out your credit, your debt, and your goals.
Get your free credit scores, which is once annually. All 3 credit scores. Get either order it online or order it over the phone. Get it in the mail or look at it online, and get your debt together. Which your credit will help you kind of do that too, but you still need like your hard copies in front of you, like your credit card debts. Utilities are not debt. People don't know that. Those are necessities. So debt is credit cards, loans. That's debt. And then your goals. What do you want to accomplish? Do you want to retire at a certain age? Are your kids in school? Do you financially have to help them in school? Or are they putting loans in their own names? All of those things have to be precise.
I'm glad you said that. That's a good one. Let me come back right here for a minute. I'm glad you said that because people do that. They be putting stuff in their kids' names and stuff. So shame on them, right? So let me ask you something. Should they do one before the other? You said check out your credit, your debt, and your goal. Does it matter?
I do everything simultaneously. And what I mean by that is you have your 3 columns. So you're going to have your debt column, your credit column, and your goal column.
Okay. I'm about to my daughter usually be in here. She might be on the plane. Let me text her and tell her if you ain't in here, you need to get in here. You need to join, you need to tune into my live.
I'm trying to go worldwide with this. I'm not exaggerating, y'all. I really want to help people because, by the way, I want you guys to realize I did this in the middle of an inflation, a depression, a recession, or whatever word you want to use.
Right.
Hello?
Alone. Single with no husband. All right. Single. Let's break those things out. By herself. Didn't work overtime.
Nope.
I
couldn't work overtime.
If you just came in, let's recap. No inheritance.
None.
Nobody else's money. Nope. No co-signers.
Nope.
Everything by herself.
Yep.
So she definitely is a person worth listening to. A lot of time people go listening to people that they can't validate it. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no credibility.
Right.
That's credibility, y'all. She's got the credibility. She's got the house paid off in full. Doesn't have to work another day in her life. Hasn't touched her annuities, her pension, her 401k, none of that.
No.
And she
And
not
by
even
the way, because of my age, let me throw this in there because this is important and honest. I don't get my full retirement because I'm young, right?
that's right. That's
But
right.
I knew that. But I knew that. That's why I paid off the house. All I have to be responsible for is utilities, taxes once a year, and you can make monthly payments on that if you want to. If you like, I'm one of those people who I overpay all my utilities, right?
Wow.
All of them. Matter of fact, I'm gonna prove it to you.
You don't have to prove nothing.
Just with
But I
a
love,
little
did you hear
glance.
what she said, y'all? She's not even 50. So if you don't understand what she's saying, you cannot, even if you retire early from most companies, first of all, you can only retire with either one thing, age or time on the job.
Right.
It's going to be
Right.
one or the other, right?
Right.
In most companies, you got to have one or the other, age or time on the job. So
Right.
obviously she got the time on the job because she's not 50 yet, right? So in getting her job, being intentional at the age of 20, she decided, I want to retire early. She decided she wants to get something and she bought a house. She paid it off early. She's just told you she doesn't have no rent. She doesn't have no mortgage. All she paid for is her utilities and her annual property taxes, y'all. Everybody know you have property taxes on your cars and your houses, right? All she paid is property taxes. And she just told you that she kind of spreads that out and chips off at it monthly. So really, she don't have that lump sum. Come on now.
Listen,
Yeah.
look,
Wow.
check, 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 check. All because I overpaid my utilities. So they had to pay me back. Okay?
Wow. And but get this, they not even cashed.
No, 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 no. No, that's not true. What I did was the electric deposit.
Wow.
No, no, no.
Oh, you did
But
deposit them. Okay.
anytime you want proof from me, it's always available.
No. I rebuke that. You don't have to prove nothing. Nobody. If they don't want to be the blessed,
Yeah.
the heck with them. Okay, I'm the heck with them because
And by the way, one is I got two yesterday that I didn't even expect. You see, it's dated March 31st, 2025, and I got it yesterday. I was like, what the hell is this?
that's a blessing. So what is next? So now that you achieved this, you are comfortable. You can get complacent. A lot of times we tell people don't get complacent. If you don't understand the difference between being comfortable and being complacent, then you should check that out. And I'm gonna come back to you on that dictionary. Like you love the dictionary. I want to know what's your word for the day because I know you have one. Just if you read the dictionary like that and you read it today, I know you pulled out a word today. But I need to understand what is next for you. Since you've achieved this, what is next? The next milestone.
Two things. When I planned early retirement, I get that question often. What do you want to do now? What are you going to do now? Are you going to work now? And I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody, whatever the hell I want to do.
Come
And
on.
that's the beauty of it. And I have no regret in that. I don't want to change my mind in that. I wake up now when I want to. I take a shower. I go back to bed if I want to. I listen to things. I'm enjoying things like Felicia Rashad's interviews. I love her interviews. I've always been a Maya Angelou fan. I've always been a poet. I studied her life, and when I was a child, I enjoyed like Damon Wayans' interview on Club Shay Shay. I get on a plane when I want to.
That
I
was a
always
good
did
one.
that,
That was a real good one.
but now I don't have to apply for my supervisor approving it.
Come on now. Yeah, Damon Wayne, that was a good one on Club Shay Shay.
Wasn't that great?
He's got some great ones too.
Wasn't that great?
But listen,
when he said only one person should be famous in this world, and that should be God, that resonated with me. That resonated with me.
Yeah. I love his brother was good too, though.
Yeah.
Marlon,
but I truly enjoyed.
Have you seen Marlon's interview with him?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't watch all of his, but I did watch all of
bless you.
Yeah.
Marlon's interview will bless you too.
Yeah.
What I love about that family is they are about family for real. They really, I mean, nothing is going to come.
And Miss Crystal, they don't gatekeep.
No, they don't.
They share, and that's who I genuinely am. I do not belittle people. I do not degrade people. Like I was saying less than 2 weeks ago, I didn't appreciate a person telling me, we were talking about me retiring, and he said, I was trained to work, and I said, well, I don't know if I was trained, but I was raised to work,
Yeah,
and
we all
I did it, and I was done. And he was like, you just have too much time on your hands. I said, see, this is what people don't understand with the negativity.
Yeah.
How can I have too much time on my hands when I don't know what time of day or place I'm gonna die?
Come on now. And here's the thing. We all grew up, if you're a baby boomer, all right, at minimum, we were trained, go to school, get a good job, retire, work. I mean, that's just it.
Right.
Yes, times have changed. And lo and behold, for the millennials, for the Gen X and the Gen Zs, y'all have it's kind of scary, because if we keep it real, you want to know why mental illness is at an all-time high? Because y'all think everything is microwavable. Y'all think y'all supposed to get everything like that, and then y'all can't handle the pressure because y'all think everything is quick. Like we did long division.
Absolutely.
Okay, we started with a rotary
Absolutely.
telephone where we had to dial and take our finger and go around all the way to dial.
Absolutely.
Okay,
And why was it always an ugly telephone?
Yeah, we have a little bit more stickability, and that's why we got a little bit more mental stability
And
because
discipline.
think
And discipline.
Yeah.
I used to tutor people in math, fun fact, for 10 years. And I used to tutor people while I was in junior high school. I would tutor college kids. And I noticed when they would do math problems, it was confusing for them. And I said, you have to take your time and break it down. And when I was a parent, I would give my daughter extra homework, and she used to think that was so mean. And I'm like, first of all, you're just like me. You're finishing your homework fast. You're too intelligent. Not that that's ever a bad thing. But I always want to give you a challenge. I've always been into challenges and challenging myself. I'm a competitive person with myself. I don't do it for other people. And I did not want to retire at 60, 65 when people are dying around me, or when I retire, I'm too tired to pack and get on a plane, or my knees hurt. Woo! There have been at least 2 officers that I know of that retired and they died within 6 months.
Yeah, and see, let me share with you something. When I was young, I had a goal that I was going to retire like a 50, like you did. The only difference with me, you never know what hand you're going to be dealt, right?
Right.
And for me, I had a family of 5. I lost mom to cancer in 95. I lost brother to cancer in 2008. I think about 2006, my sister got diagnosed with her cancer. Dad died in 2013. I have been through hospice 3 times. I have watched 4 people leave this earth and take their last breath. So my focus kind of shifted because I had to get in a caregiver, I had to get in a hospital, I had to do that. So I have had 2 divorces. That's a whole nother story with that. I have had a couple of people close to me. 2 of them were suicidal. So I had a heavy hand dealt to me, which caused me to deviate from my plan. So my plan had to become to survive mentally and to stay, So I prepared myself by stacking up and being able to go get back from myself. Right. And so that's why I share with my daughters now. I say, I have these conversations, these hard conversations. I say, I need y'all to understand something. I showed them what I had. I showed them everything. And I explained how I got here. Right. And they say, yeah, they get it. And they're thankful for the process that I show them. But I'm complacent. Now I'm gonna say I'm really complacent because I kind of am complacent because I work part-time by choice. Right. Okay. But I make part-time. Some people make full-time at home on my own. I travel, go when I want to go. Pretty much. I have a lot of flexibility. So I'm comfortable. I'm in a good place. I could have been completely retired, and sometimes I used to knock myself and say, dang, but then I said, you know what God has for me is for me. My life, I can't control the uncontrollable. Right. You know what I'm saying? If I had to do it again, I would do the same thing and be there for my family. Right. If I had to do it again, I'm going to be there for my family. It is what it is. But if you don't have things that are coming at you and you can make good choices, you can save, and you can follow a young lady like this that is telling you the blueprint, that is not gatekeeping, that is letting you know how she did it, and she's willing to look at your credit report. She's willing to help you to look at your credit, your debt, and your goals and walk you through the process. She's not charging a fee.
No.
She just wants to help you. There's no scam here. I'm telling you right now. We told you how to follow her. Just go on to Instagram. There's her IG. Screenshot it. Take your phone out. Take a picture of that sucker. If you know, like I know. Send her a DM. Say, listen, I saw you on Storytime with Shop Crystal. Y'all know, a lot of y'all know me personally. I'm telling you right now, go follow her and get information. Don't be stuck in a rut. What has happened? Don't be stuck in a rut. I might even contact her and see if I can better my situation. I'm comfortable where I'm at, but if I can better it, I didn't attack my debt. I'm pretty much debt free. I didn't attack my credit. Paid off a lot of my cards. So I'm excited about it. It is a good feeling. It's a great feeling when you do that. And then I creatively use one every now and then when I want to do something. But that's because I like to get on the plane and go. So that's how I cope with all the losses. That's how I cope with all the grief. I'm still watching one more person. I had a family of 5. I'm down to 2 of us. The last 2 standing. My sister, I watch over her. She's had cancer 4 times, 3 brain surgeries, a stroke.
Oh, wow.
Pneumonia, COVID, and now she has dementia, like about in the 3rd, 4th stage of dementia. So this has been the story of my life. And I'm like, sometimes I said, God, why me? But then I said, I guess, why not me? So he made me a hope catalyst. So he made me a catalyst and he said, Crystal, so that's how I cope. You understand what I'm saying?
In the midst of all this, you are still giving, you are still sharing, and look at the platform that you are having for us. And we need more of this and less of the drama and less of the reality TV shows, because that's not real. I don't even know why they name it that. But
that's why my goal is
I just want people not to allow embarrassment to stop them. I don't want her to see how bad my credit. I don't give a damn. I don't want people's ego and pride, because at the end, how we started this was with one question: have you ever heard of anyone who actually likes to work? So are you going to let your ego, your pride, your fear, your embarrassment, your laziness, your comfortability keep you unhappy with working every day until you're 65, 70? That's the question. The first question was, do you really like to work? Hell no. And the second question of ending it is, are you really, really going to stay in that? And you don't have to? Can't beat this with a stick.
So who has anybody come to you that you haven't been able to help?
No, not one. Not one. I had someone contact a friend of mine. He said, hey, this guy from Atlanta, he knows about you retiring. He said he's DMing you, but you didn't check your DMs. Can you check it? That's the person. He sent me his credit reports. I was at work in September, and I looked at it in less than 30 minutes.
And so you understand this about DMs. And I don't know how you have your setup, but you know that there's 2 boxes.
Right, exactly.
They're in that other box. So you check both.
Right.
Okay. So you check in both boxes.
Well, he was doing it that day, and I was at work. So I hadn't checked. I'm a person who moves around a lot while I'm at work. But he got his answer that day. He didn't have to wait 24 hours.
Wow. And so what you did was, you go through the credit, then do you guide them on how to dispute?
I did.
Because some people don't know how to dispute. Some people don't know how not to. Sometimes they make the mistake of paying on something that's just about to fall off. It's about to fall off. They don't know about that 7-year rule, and
I taught myself everything by myself. I taught myself everything. I teach you how to dispute. I do all of what is necessary, and we cross those boxes off, because I told you have to. This is the only thing that I require, is that you show me that you've done at least 2 to 3 things a week. You have to do at least two, because that's if you're not showing me that you're doing something, then I'm wasting my time, and I don't like to waste my time.
So do you allow people to bless you? Because you don't charge people, so you
Oh,
can't block.
I'm like,
You
what's
can't block the blessing. You know that's blocking their
no
blessing.
one, no one has ever offered to bless me, but that doesn't bother me either. The
Yeah, no,
blessing
come
is the
on now.
blessing is you finishing and you telling someone else, "Hey, we now both of us did it," and then it's a domino effect.
Yeah, that's it.
We
So
are we are a minority. Whether you are a black, you are a minority. Whether you're Hispanic, you are a minority. Whether you're a woman, you're a minority. Whether you're a parent, you're a minority. What else do you have to do right now?
wow.
Your credit reports come free. I'm teaching you for free. We're in the middle of a recession, so your ass is really not traveling
And
that
you
much
don't
right
have
now.
no excuse. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. So at some point, I know you've had people to say, you got to charge for this. I know you've had people to
I
talk
told you
you
that.
into say, I know people have been like, oh no, you can't do this forever. Do you think it's gonna wear off?
I don't think so. That's not my plan. I don't think about that. That I swear I don't. I don't think about the money. I think about how big I want to blow up and share people. That's my only objective.
And you know what that means? That's just gonna open up more windows of heaven for you.
That's all I want.
That's just gonna open up more
That's
blessings
all
for
I
you.
want.
They're gonna
I was
rain.
on the
It's
phone
gonna
with
rain down on you. You understand that? It's
my.
you understand. You're gonna have more blessings than you can receive.
I've been blessed all my life, and I've shared all my life, and I don't plan on stopping that. I have no reason to. I was on the phone with my uncle this morning, and I was telling him about the interview that I was going to do with you tonight, and he said, "I'm so proud of you." And I said, "There's only two things I want. It's for my daughter to be able to receive, because she's the closest person to me, right? Not a virtual stranger, not a person that I've never met, but for my daughter to receive it and utilize it, and for me to go down." And the way that my daughter chooses to bury me, and her to be able to speak and say, "My mom shared and she cares."
Yes.
That's all I want. That is all I want.
And so your parents,
Hmm.
I know they're proud. I know they're so proud.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not even tell them. They found out. They heard, because I'm a person. I don't like negativity. I don't like, and I don't want to say that they're negative intentionally. But again, I'm the only child. I have their only grandchild, so I knew it was gonna be the, "Why would you do that? Why would you take it? Why would you?" Because that's what I got. That's what I get from a lot of people. I got the side eyes from people at work. I got. I told you about someone less than 2 weeks ago saying, "Well, I was trained to work." You know, you get negativity
It's
from
also
all
envy.
over the places, or you get assumptions, or you get, disbelief. And I remember when I bought my house, my mother called me. This is a true story, and she was like, "What is all that noise?" And I said, "I'm moving in my house." She said, "You bought a house?" And that's how she found out. Because I'm one of those people, I want you to see it. I don't have to tell you what I'm doing. I don't have to tell you my process. I want you to see it and say, "Oh damn.
And what did she say when she came to the house?
Oh my God, you're gonna make me say it." So I told you I bought a 3-story house. Well, my mom came in on the second level, and she stopped and looked around and said, "I can't believe your ass bought me a bigger house than me."
That's
I'm an
amazing.
honest person,
That's
but that's
amazing.
what she said.
That's good. That's good.
That's what she
You
said.
know, and I want to say this to you. You are amazing. You because do you know how many, like you said, celebrities, wealthy people, prominent people that are in a position to give back, to share, and to help others by letting people know how they did what they did and they're not. So the fact that you are doing that, and I believe that, because I heard you say you have celebrity friends. I believe that you're going to rub off on them. I believe that you're going to find, after so many months and years, you're going to rub off on them, and they're going to come to you and they're going to say, you be proud of me because you know what I did today?
Mm-hmm.
People are like, oh, wow, check that out. I'm rubbing off on you.
That's my
But
joy.
you got to give them something to think about because they may be in a, if not the same position as you or better,
Mm-hmm.
more influential, higher tax bracket, and they can
Mm-hmm.
definitely do it, and they not. It's
I
going
have.
to condemn them. It's going to condemn them.
I'll say without saying the person's name. I helped him with his credit. I referred him to an attorney. He cried. He called me crying. He said, I was so scared to do that. I thought I was going to make the biggest mistake. And he says, Think, you really helped me. He cried. He cried. And he's a celebrity. He's a well-known celebrity, y'all. Miss Crystal, you actually do know who it is without me saying. But he cried to me. But my joy is helping people. When people visit my house, I know what they like to drink. I know what they like to eat. I cook that for them. I have them a Pepsi. My aunt is the only person around me who likes Pepsi. I have her a Pepsi. I have my friend her Scotch label, her red label. I have my daughter her lemon drops. I'm one of those people, I get joy out of other people being happy. That's genuinely me.
Wow.
That's genuinely me.
So why aren't you? Somebody should have snatched you up by now. Tell us about why you still single. Is it because you have high
I didn't expect that
expectations?
question. Oh, wow.
Is it because you have high standards,
Nope.
high
Nope.
expectations?
So I was engaged, planning the wedding, had the venue, and found out that who I was marrying was not who I was marrying. I went to pay a ticket for him. I don't know where you guys are from, but back where I was from and back then they changed it. If you get like a little minor ticket, you can go to the window and pay the ticket off, and it's done. You walk away, everything is. Well, I went to go pay his ticket for him, and true story, I'm sitting at the window and she's typing a long time. I'm like, what the heck is she doing? She comes back. Long story short, that's not the right birthday for this man. And I said, it's the only birthday I know. Anyway, some kind of way she finagled it where she was able to pay it. I got the receipt. I went home to him. I'm engaged. I'm wearing this ring, okay? This man gave me 2 engagement rings. I give him the receipt, and I said, the lady said your information is wrong, but here's the receipt. I walked away. We had an apartment. It was the only apartment I've ever lived in. I'm walking down around from my bedroom down the hallway. I stopped in the middle of the hallway. Intuition, a feeling, a spirit, I don't know what you want to call it. I just didn't feel right. He didn't say a word, by the way, when I said that to him. When I paid and gave him that receipt and said she had the ring, he didn't say one word.
That was his chance to come clean.
I went back down that hallway. I made that right, and I went in our bedroom. He was sitting on the bed. And the first question was, I asked him, do you have something to tell me? And he said, everything she said is right. And I said, what do you mean? He said, the only thing that's real is my name. And I said, what? And I said, but I've seen your birth certificate. I've seen your driver's license. He said, it's all fake. And I was like, what? And this is the only man that my father liked. And I was like, what do you mean it's fake? And he said, every document that you've seen of mine is fake. His birthday was fake. His diploma was fake. The only thing real about this man was his skin, bones, and his name. I lie to you not. And it scared the hell out of me. And it's not that I'm scared of me messing up. I'm scared that the other person will. I don't believe in
the sad
divorce.
thing about it is, it's so much deceit today. It's so much, people scamming one another and whatever. But when you get that close to the individual that you laying next to and they're not
in your life with
they are, that's deep. And to make it so bad is that people have got to the point where they will look you in your face and lie to you, and it don't faze them. I mean, if you would have never brought this to him, y'all would have got married.
Thank you.
And you would have went on. It's like the people who have double lives. And it's like, how dare you? But you said you love me. And
this is in the middle of me starting my law enforcement career. So that could have affected me. Because I don't know if anyone knows, when you apply for law enforcement, they don't only look at you. They even flew out of state from my college and interviewed professors. They go everywhere. They go to your family.
They go to your childhood.
Everywhere. They go through everything. And him being this fraudulent person could have affected me, especially in marriage. Yeah. Nothing but I told you, God, that's one thing, that's another reason I'm not uncomfortable sharing, is because God has always looked out for me. I would, if I didn't go pay that ticket, would he have
Yes.
ever told me? Would I have ever found out?
So you just walked away. And so now, with your skills, being a former police officer, do you do background checks now?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I purposely try not to do that, especially in the beginning. I give chances for honesty. I give chances for dishonesty. People are uncomfortable. People are embarrassed. People are ashamed. And I don't tell people what I did or do for a living. You're only getting that because of this specific interview. I like people to know me for who I am. That was a career that gave me blessings and direct deposit. It was just a rare career. But if I feel like we're getting serious after a few months or so, and if I'm skeptical, then I may. But no, I don't make it a habit of, because I think that's unfair. I'm not saying I'm naive and trusting, but I am saying I know that everyone's human and they have a past, especially in the line of work that I've been in. Everyone's not gonna have an angelic, perfect life. None of us do. Some are just worse decisions than others, or different decisions than others.
Right. Hi, Quan. How you doing? Good to see you. I know one thing. FRR. Thank you so much. They're beautiful. I wonder, cause I do. I will in a minute. I sure do. I sure do.
I'm praying about marriage, Miss Crystal. I'll say that I am willing. I'm open to it. I am. I'm in my world of experiences and people, but
So you're not guarded. That had to.
I'm not guarded.
So
It didn't make me not ever trust. I don't have those issues.
That's good.
Because I don't feel I did anything wrong, or I wasn't naive. I told you I saw his documents.
That's right. They were real. They were
real to me. They were real in front of me.
They were authentically fraud. They were real birth certificate, but he just had the wrong information on there.
Exactly.
So, but it's the extent that people will go to deceive another person is something. So that's why when you find that person, I was watching something, I think it was last night. And the man said, it was so good to me when I saw it. I said, wow. He said, yes, you want somebody to be good, when you get with them, but y'all need to be good together. And I was like, wow, that's true. Together, are you good? You understand? Right. Yeah, authentically fraudulent. Right. That's right. Right. That's good. I mean, that's deep, ain't it, Quan? She said authentically fraudulent. That's deep.
He was, girl.
and people are like that in life today. Mm-hmm. They are real phony. Okay, so REEEEALPHONEY, but they're real with their phoniness.
Right, and that's the scary part.
And they stand in their phoniness. Yes. They will look you in your face, not blink or do anything, and hold to it. Yeah. They done fabricated the whole story. You've seen it in your former career. People go in the courtroom and they will stick to the story.
With a straight face.
They will stick to the story. And you done busted them. And they still, it's like
girl, listen. If I wish we had time for all those stories of my career. Because I used to be looking at people like, you really gonna stick to this story?
That's like, when we were coming up, they used to say, who stole the cookie in the cookie jar? Not I stole the cookie. And you done seen the hand. You done walked in. The hand is in the cookie jar.
And then you got to think about the reports that that I would write, or the reports that I would receive, because in the end of my career, I was the receiving officer of reports, right? There are screenshots. There are videos and camera footage, and you're still gonna say, I didn't do that. That's not me.
Wow. That's amazing. And through all of that, you're still joyful, you're still cheerful, you're still giving. And I know that's why God kept you. That's why He blessed you because you've been this way all your life. And that is such a blessing. If y'all are just coming in like Quan Yu, this young lady, I don't know if you follow her, but I'm gonna put her IG back up here, Quan. Please go follow her. What she is doing for individuals, Quan, is she is helping individuals to be debt free. She's under 50. She's already retired. Her house is paid for, and she's helping individuals. She's not charging. Let me say that again, because that's the part that you gotta get. She's not charging. Everything she's done, she didn't inherit it. Nobody else's money. She did it all on her own. She made a decision in her 20s that she wanted to buy a house and pay it off. She don't have to work another day in her life. She has not touched her 401k, her pension, her annuity. She ain't touched nothing. And it's all sitting there. And she's not even fully retired because she doesn't have the age yet. So she's only really getting half of her retirement, and it's sustaining her.
And still
Okay?
not struggling. And still not
It's
struggling.
sustaining her. Her house is paid for. So all she has to do is pay for her utility and her annual property taxes. Her car is probably paid for too. So she's paying property taxes. She's splitting the property taxes up throughout the year.
Yeah.
If y'all just got here, I need for y'all to not only follow her, but follow me too. But what y'all need to do is go get with her. Tell her, listen, I saw you on Storytime. I'm about to send my stuff to you. Don't waste her time and don't waste your time and don't play yourself.
I teach how to homestead. I teach how to get your taxes lowered. I teach all that.
That's unbelievable, man.
You can't beat this with a stick. Because I've already been through the process.
Yes.
It's not like we're not doing this together.
No, yeah.
And
all she wants is but go before the man for him to say, well done.
I do. You're gonna make me proud.
That's all she wants. She is rubbing off on her celebrity friends and convicting them. You're gonna probably want to write a book about how many people you done converted. You like the person that's the atheist that's hanging around the Christians and they don't believe. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna make all of them believers. You're gonna convert them, and they're gonna be convicted because they're gonna say, "Well, Dan, how come I don't get blessed like you get blessed? Like you, it's like you walking in favor."
Amen.
Think, why you got so much favor in your life? Hello.
There's no favor, and grace doesn't even have favor. I'm a woman of God. January 10th, 2011. I was overwhelmed with stress, y'all. Overwhelmed with stress. I had so much going on. I had 2 grandfathers dying at the same time in 2 different hospitals. I had gone through a very bad, tumultuous breakup. I lost so much weight. People were asking me, was I on drugs? Literally, I've never done a drug in my life. My mother even asked me, are you on drugs? I had the stress of it all. And I remember my daughter being in the bed, sleep with me. I got up out of the bed around 10 something at night, went to the restroom, turned around to face the toilet to flush it, and I went backwards. And the reason that I know that I went backwards is because when I opened my eyes, my cousin, who I did not know was in the house when this happened, but when I opened my eyes, my cousin was standing over me and about 2 paramedics, firefighters in the bathroom. And I'm like, what's going on? And my cousin said, you must have fainted. You must have fainted. And she heard me because I hit the back of my head on the toilet and it smashed a candle. And they positioned me and set me up in the living room on the couch. And one of the paramedics said, I think you're having an anxiety attack. And I said, well, I've never had an anxiety attack before. I don't know how that feels, so I can't tell you if you're right or wrong. My cousin, thank God, she was in the medical field. She worked in billing all of her life. And she did. She said, that wasn't no damn anxiety attack. Anxiety attack wouldn't have made her faint and hit her head. We're going to the hospital. They rushed me to the hospital, did all these tests on me. The doctor comes in. I'm looking to the right in the hospital bed. The lighting is dim. I turn my head to the left. His name was Dr. Washington. I'll never forget it. And I said, what happened to me? He said, your heart rate dropped to 2.9. If it would have been another hour or so, you would have been dead from all the stress. And I said, what? I said, I'm only in my 20s. He said, it doesn't matter about your age. It matters about your body and your mind. And your daughter would have been asleep in that bed and you would have been dead.
Mm, mm, mm,
And
mm.
from that day forward, that was January 10th, 2011. From January 11th, 2011, I set my cell phone to text me every day, 7 days a week, with a Bible scripture. I don't care if I'm running late for, or if I was running late for work when I worked. I don't care where I'm going. I read that Bible before my feet hit the ground. And now my daughter and I exchange verses 7 days a week, and we do not miss. I
Wow.
lead. I lead with God. I lead with God. No matter what I'm going through, no matter what anyone else is going through, I make time for God in prayer. And if it's a scripture 7 days a week, that's what it's going to be. And that's what it has been since January 2011. I have not missed a day. I will not miss a day. I have not missed a day. And that's why I set my phone to do it, so I don't miss a day.
And that's intentional once again. So
Mm-hmm.
very disciplined, very organized, very intentional. God, if you just coming through, you have to hear me good on this, y'all. Hear me good on this. I have done a lot of stories. I have done a lot of stories. I have done a lot of interviews. But what this young lady is doing right here, if y'all don't take advantage of this, that is something wrong. There's something wrong. I don't care what age you are, but if you don't take advantage of this, there is something wrong. She is going to check out your credit, your debt, and your goals. And she's going to help you through it. She's not charging a fee. All you have to do is go follow her. Take a picture of this, take a picture of it, and go follow her. When I bring her back, we've been at this for almost 2 hours, so I want to respect her time. I'm going to let her give me some closing comments and everything because I appreciate her being here. But don't beat yourself up about where you are and how you got there. It's okay. We all have been dealt a hand and we played it the best we could. But now help is here. Just receive the help and just go forward. Don't look back. Don't second guess. Just receive the help and go forward. That's all I want you to do. She's said enough. There's nothing else that has to be proven. If you don't want to take advantage of this, that is your prerogative. That is your choice. But don't ever say that God didn't give you that opportunity, because opportunity is knocking at your door right now for your freedom, for your redirection, for you to refocus and get realigned. It's right here. So I'm going to bring her back up and I'm going to let her share, and I'm going to let her give you some closing comments on whatever it is she wants to close out with, however she wants to let you know. She gave you her testimony. She told you how she did it. Go back and do the replay. If you just got here, go back and do the replay. And I'm telling you, this video should be one of my most shared videos. It really should. It really should. We get so caught up in the drama and the reality stuff and all the BS and all the entertainment and stuff, the wrong stuff. And what she just said happened to her. Let me tell you something. People dropping dead every day. I don't know how many of y'all have known people. I know in 2024, I have had people that literally have walked out of the room to go to the bathroom or go get a glass of water and come back, and the person is dead. The person that they left in the room was dead from stress. So I'm telling you right now, thank me later, but y'all need to catch hold of this when she come back. I thank you so much. God bless you for sharing. Thank you for trusting me, for coming, for giving me the opportunity. Because I'm just shout Crystal. Story time. I'm not the Shade Room, Stephen Smith, another big name, but
Right.
I have a genuine heart. So here she is. Y'all better receive it. I'm telling you, it's here.
Yeah. Whew. I prayed before I came, so I was praying again. I'm praying that I touch one person that touches another. And Miss Crystal, I thank you again for your platform, for having me. I thank the two individuals who referred me to you to come on. Um, all I want again is for people to believe that it can be done. Seeing is believing. Faith of a mustard seed. I am in front of you with the proof. I don't mind showing. I've already showed some proof tonight. My Instagram page is public, so you can see more proof. Um, what do you want for yourself? Not your family, not others. What do you want for yourself? And are you willing and able and ready? Or are you going to work until you're 60, 65 years old, stressed with debt? I'm doing this without debt. I'm doing this without any of this, without any of that burden of a collector or a bill collector. Or what do you want for yourself? Like, sit down in a quiet space and talk to whatever God yourself. I have sometimes cried so loud I've closed windows thanking God because I don't want my neighbors to think I'm in here going crazy. But if you are a believer, then you know it's possible because anything is possible. But if you're not a believer, it's time to become one for all of the right and even wrong reasons. It's too much evil in the world to not want better for yourself. And while you are living on this earth, because none of us know what day, what time, what place, what location. You don't have to be a old age anymore, if that, whatever old is, because that's subjective. People die in car accidents and planes at any age. I just want to come back to Miss Crystal's platform and us be able to have a little party, a celebration or something, because we got more people retiring. Thank you again. Thank you for having me.
Wow, wow, wow. With that being said, guys, listen. God bless you. I'm not even gonna repeat. We said it all. I look for the testimonies. I'm gonna make sure I share this to all three of my daughters, and they usually one of them usually comes in. I'm gonna share it, tell her, please check this out. You know, sometimes it's really sad because it's just like when we want to invite people to church, right? You know, you want to tell them about God's goodness. You're so excited, and man, you want people to know, and they just don't get it, man. So I've come to realize in my 65 years on earth that we can't help everybody. We can't help nobody who don't want to help themselves. So we've done our part. We've done our part. This is going to be available for replay. It's going to be available and we're going to have it on all the platforms. It's going to go on multiple places. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you before I leave how many places it's going to be, because I'm going to share this. Now, I am very selective of what I put out there. And Storytime has expanded to the point where I got it on a lot of places. And this is definitely going to be one that I'm going to share. So on that note, let me just show y'all. I'm putting you out there, girl. Just check this out. I'm putting you out there. Take a look.
A catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime.
All right, everybody. Are you ready? This is Crystal. I am so excited to have you here on Storytime. I want you to know that now you can be seen and heard. Yes, Storytime has expanded, and you will be able to see yourself streaming live on multiple platforms. So come on over and get with us and check it out. I want you to go ahead and schedule your interview, and you never know where they might find you online. So thanks for watching. See you somewhere on the internet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Storytime. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. I see a couple comments that we put it out here. Quan, follow her, man. Go follow her, please. I mean, she's definitely thank you so much, FRR, Misty, all the people who came up. We appreciate you guys for coming through. Share this live, share this interview. Please share it. You know somebody who needs this, okay? You know somebody who needs it. Don't forget to subscribe. I got every Wednesday and Sunday booked up with amazing stories just like this. Go back and go through the list. Find a story that you can relate to. But I'm out. My name is Crystal Bodie Smith. My mission is to stir up the gift, instill hope, and save lives. I hope something you heard today will change your life. All right. God bless you. See you on the next story time. See you later. Thank.
A catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.